Here we go. So this is a big one. I've never done this XP agenda board before. I didn't feel like I was ever going to do it, but I did do it this season. And the reason is because I always said there was like 3 players that would make me do this. And Tracy McGrady was the first one. I always loved T-Mac cards. His pink diamond was a bit underwhelming. Kobe was the other one. And, you know, they've obviously released him for 600,000 MT, which is not something I'm going to pay. And the other one was dwade. You know, I loved that dwade card last year, that the Opal. I even loved the diamond that they released right at the end of the year. I don't know if you remember, but that diamond could compete with any GOAT card in the game. It was amazing. I'm a really bad shooter, so having a card like dwade is always going to be beneficial for someone like me. You know, it's just a really useful card for me to have in my squad. And also, I think the other reason is there's been a lack of PGs. I didn't do Steph Curry, and it's been hard to find a good point guard in the team. So having dwade now is, you know, it fills a big hole in my team. And I'm really looking forward to using him. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take him online and see if he's worth it. You know, is it worth the 4 to 5, maybe 6 week grind that people have gone through to pick up this card? You know, grinding triple threat offline and playing 6 game modes every day to try and get all the XP done. I mean, I'm going to do another video on what I thought about the XP. I'm also going to do a video on, you know, if you're behind, if you're at like 60,000 XP right now, I will drop a video that will help you sort of catch up and make sure you get dwade by the end of the season, because I did 30,000 XP in a day last season. It was actually the last day of the season, so it is possible. If you're wondering why I'm shooting from the logo, this is how I practice now. So I used to practice on Hall of Fame difficulty, and now I practice on All-Star because that's what the online game mode is on. But I actually literally just stand on the logo and practice shots. I feel like it's the best way to get down a release, especially with a card with range extender. So I'll always stand beyond the hot zones and knock down 3. So I'm finding this release okay. It's going to take some getting used to for sure. It's quicker than probably any release that I've used in a long time. I think the last release I used that was this quick was probably KD, and I sold that card because I couldn't get it down. So I'm really hoping this dwade is worth it. But the only way really to find out if it's worth it is to take it online, play unlimited. I'm going to focus entirely on dwade for that entire gameplay. So I'm going to try and you know, focus on him, see what his strengths are, you know, run to the rim with him, take some shots with him, see what kind of defense he plays as well. I'm just going to really lock in on him. So if I lose the game, I lose the game. It's really more about dwade and what he can do on the court. We might end up going 12-0 again before this season out. It's really interesting because, you know, I didn't go 12-0 in the last 2 seasons. It's interesting. But I know how much you guys like a montage, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into a montage of dwade, and I'll talk about the card, his stats, his attributes, everything afterwards.
Let's go now.
So there you have it. It was a kind of a weird game. It was definitely an algo game. I think it was like a 10-point gap coming into the last quarter. I was definitely missing wide open shots. Wasn't playing very well, I think. My opponent figured out very quickly that I was trying to score everything through dwade, so it resulted in me taking a few bad shots and having to mix it up a little bit more than I'd like to. But good game. Ultimately, we won, and dwade definitely drove that win. First and foremost, that is the most fun card I've used in certainly this year in 2K. It's definitely a contender for all time. It's a really fun card to use. He does everything. You know, he ran the rim really well. He shoots the ball really well. I didn't shoot well enough. I said partly because, you know, I'm not great at shooting, and partly because my opponent had figured it out and sending double teams. If you look at the stat line, he put up a 40-point double-double. You know, 10 assists. He got 3 steals as well. You know, really, really good. He was exhausted because, as you can see, I ran him for 19 minutes of the game. He only had a rest for a minute, so I think that was affecting his kind of stat line by the end of the game. But he just played really, really well. The thing that surprised me the most about this card is, obviously, you know, scoring, he's dominant. He ran the rim as well as any card in this game, absolutely for sure. The shot was great. Again, you know, we hit a couple of shots from distance. I need to practice the shot a little bit more, and you know, that stat line doesn't do him any justice there. But the thing that surprised me were 2 things, actually. One was his playmaking. I mean, if he set someone up, if he got the assist, the shot was going to go in. You know, if you're assisting to anyone in the corners on catch and shoot, he just won't miss. And the second thing was his defense. It was elite. It was really elite. You saw one of the clips there where he literally clamped someone up and they gave a half court violation. He got 3 steals throughout the game. He was really, really good. As a point guard, he does everything that you want a point guard to do. He can run the rim, he shoots, he distributes really well, and he defends like an absolute beast. So I'm going to take a quick look at the card and its stats and its attributes and just see how they compare to the gameplay we just watched. So offense, defense, I think that's accurate. You know, 99, 98. He is definitely elite on both ends. I would say he's potentially a top 3, top 5 cards in both areas. It definitely stacks up. I'll put a diamond contract on him, of course. Attributes, let's have a look. So 3-point shot 88 was boosted by a coach, but I might check a 3-point shoe on him. I think if I can get that 3-point with coach and shoe up to about a 95, I think the card will be a lot better. But, you know, we did miss some threes in that game. We did knock some down as well. But his 3-point could do with the boost. I think that was probably the thing I struggled with the most. His driving dunk is a 95. If you saw in that game, he just dunked on absolutely everyone. Like, it didn't even matter. Like, there was points where I was literally just running at the rim with 3 players in front of me, holding down square and getting 2 points. The driving layup was on 97. That's super important. He made some layups through contact as well. You might have seen close shot 94, mid range 92, exactly what you'd expect. His handles are great. I'm going to talk about this more probably when it comes to the badges, but you know, his pass IQ, pass accuracy being 90, it makes a lot of sense. You saw some of the sort of touchdown passes he was hitting in that game, and it just seemed like every time he hit someone on the perimeter, they were knocking down a 3. I even hit an early with Klay Thompson off a Dwayne Wade assist. That's how good it was. Defensively, again, he really was dominant. I don't want to understate it. He was really, really dominant. The 89 block, I mean, I don't think he got a block, but 90 still definitely played out in the game. 93 perimeter defense definitely played out in the game. His rebounding's okay. His speed is just deadly. Again, with a coach, a shoe, things like that, you'll get that all up to 99. You saw, you know, he was kind of blitzing that Ja Morant again and again. It was like he was playing against a bronze card at times. You know, he just made it look so easy, and the lateral quickness the same. I want to look at tendencies before I look at the badges. So shot tendency 80, that's good. Let's have a look if there's anything of major relevance here. Contested jumper mid-range, again, that's really good. All of this stuff is pretty strong. Drive tendency is great. Attack strong on drive tendency is great. Shoot from post tendency, that's good. Post fade is good. So he's got really good tendencies on the attacking end. Let's have a look at the defensive end. Touches is important. He was responsible for 65 points in that game. So, you know, he's very involved. He always seems to be trying to get open. Defensively, let's have a look. So crash, you know, not that important. Pass interception, he got steals. You saw me kind of jump in the passing lanes with him. All 3 steals were in the passing lane. That was really good. On balls, 73. I think he could have got more on ball steals. My opponent was quite good. He was quite smart. He had high IQ, so he wasn't really letting that happen. He could see again, I was controlling dwade for most of that game to make sure we had some gameplay for him. Contested shot, again, 78. Just a lot of things going with this guy. It's hard to stop him. It really is. So let's have a look at those all-important badges. So difficult shots, again, we saw that. We saw him make some tough shots. Acrobat, without question. He got his takeover 3 times, 4 times maybe in that game. Pick dodger was good. Again, you know, he navigates through the paint really well. Hall of Fame clamp, sorry. We saw that. You know, we saw him clamp someone up and give away a violation. Contact finisher for sure. Consistent finisher for sure. Fancy footwork. I mean, I don't really talk about animations and signatures that much because I think actually, unless you're like a top 1% player, it's not really something that's relevant. But with D-Wade, if you get him, learn that behind the back because it just teleports him from one side of the court to the other. It's a one time I'll kind of talk about signatures because that behind the back is just next level. It really is. So that fancy footwork badge kicks in. Giant Slayer, of course, you know, 6'4" or whatever he is. 6'4"? Yeah, 6'4". I mean, he was dunking on absolutely everyone. Yeah, quick first step. You know, it got him away from people really quickly, really easily. I said I ran him for 19 minutes. Tyler Shooter was relevant as well. And then all the other badges, you know, that dimer, it feels like it's on Hall of Fame. Pickpocket, obviously, like I said, he got steals, defensive leader, heart crusher, so he's boosting other players on the court as well. Absolutely incredible. Just absolutely incredible, this card. Was it worth it? That's the big question now, I guess. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was. Again, retrospectively, I wouldn't have done it for Curry. I wouldn't have done it for Blake. And I probably won't do it next season either, depending on who the card is. But D-Wade was always going to make me do it. And it was worth it. It was a hell of a grind. And like I said, I'm going to drop other videos on how I found that grind, how you can recover if you're behind, how you can combine XP and get this done really quickly. I got this done way quicker than I should have, to be honest. I should have taken my time on it. But I just wanted to get it out of the way. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Is Dwayne Wade the best card in the game? Yes. That's my answer. I think he's the best card in the game. So if you are close or if you're nearly getting there or if you're in 2 minds about whether you want to finish this, if you do, you won't regret it. Right, guys, one final thing. So we have a competition running on a video from a few days ago. It's 10 mistakes that new players make. If you catch that video, you'll see the competition that we're running. We've had loads of applications already. It's to win 75k VC. So great time to have some VC with Kobe packs and all of these things dropping. Really good time to drop some VC on this. So go to that video and see what the competition is. All you've got to do is drop a specific comment. It's really easy. Our subs are going through the roof. We've doubled our subs in the last week. You guys are absolutely killing it. Thank you so much for the support. Until next time, thanks for watching, guys.